Welcome to All Things Social Security. Enjoy your video. Hey guys, happy morning, afternoon, or evening. It is evening here, but I just wanted to share a little something that we just completed today. It was a consultation request by somebody who lives abroad. And what was happening to this person, it's a retired person, not a disabled person, but the same thing would apply. So he was from a country such as Iceland. So Icelandic citizen residing in Switzerland after having lived and worked in the United States for 15 years, paying Social Security taxes all the while and earning more than his 40 credits that one needs for retirement. So all that was good and well. And for some reason, the SSA started telling him that he has to return to the States every 6 months for 30 days apiece. Now, as you can imagine, I don't know this particular individual's financial condition. It might not be so grave, but imagine being a person who relies on Social Security and maybe it's not super high, or there's no additional monies to, enjoy retirement wherever we are in our golden years. So he had presented the argument along with some statutory citations that this shouldn't apply to him. And the SSA even has a little piece of software, like an application on its own site that says plug in your citizenship and your country of residence, and will tell you if those countries jive in terms of the SSA sending the payment there to the residency country without you having to show up and spend, wow, 1/6 of the year in two separate occasions, mind you, in the States. Can you imagine the cost of that? Flying back, paying for a hotel or multiple hotels for a month. I mean, most people wouldn't be able to afford it. But in any event, so this has been going on for, I want to say, a year or more, I'm thinking, because I know the gentleman is here now, and the gentleman returned in March, dutifully did his thing, and I'm sure enjoys himself when he's here. But the point is, he shouldn't be required to do this. And particularly, imagine when you're getting older, when you can't be doing that kind of travel. You're going to lose your Social Security that you paid for. So anyway, I thought it really was weird also. I do understand that there's going to be some countries that we can't send money to. The United States can't send money to. They're not particularly our allies, perhaps. And there might be something about if you're a citizen of a particular country. I think it has to do with the totalization agreements in terms of perhaps your citizenship and or maybe the residency nation also. So the way we're handling this, I don't represent him as an appointed representative. This is just a consult. But I thought, it might not hurt he was already going to do a 795, let's say 795. That's when you're making a statement with what you know under oath. And so obviously it's in good faith. And, if you were being untruthful, that would probably, I'm guessing, be some kind of felony. Just my guess. So he has a 795 presenting the facts he knows. I'm an Icelandic citizen. Here's my proof. Documentary proof can be attached, right? To your 795. You have your statement and you say, look at this, look at this, look at this. Proof of citizenship, proof of residency. Probably don't need to prove the 40 quarters because he's already been getting retirement, but you would say it, because I proved it before, I'm already getting my retirement. Now you're just suddenly saying I have to show my face in the USA twice a year for 30 days each. So he has that. And the unfortunate thing is, back when this occurred almost a year ago, he presented an appeal, like a 561 appeal of their determination that he has to return. And they never processed it. So that was maybe, what is it, October? 10 months ago. So here we go again, right? He's come twice since. It's really unfortunate because that's a lot of money, Pardon me, I have the itchiest eyes today. I don't know why. So I'm doing a 795 that we decided he's going to say his facts, throw in his reiteration of the software that he used, that, the SSA application on the site that says, use your thing, and your thing even told me. So I am going to be he's going to avert to, and I direct you to attorney Stephanie Joy, who practices Social Security every day, to her support of 795, where she details the legal rules that she believes applies. So then I would be an attachment. So my attachment goes something along the lines of, yeah, I'm an attorney of Social Security law and representation full time. Today I'm assisting so and so, although I am not his appointed attorney representative. So that I just have that on there so they're very clear. It's not like I sent in a 1696. Just kind of throwing it in here as I hate to say like an expert witness, but sometimes you just gotta put it in front of them because sometimes there's somebody there that doesn't really know what they're doing. Um, because they're not addressing this at all. And they just keep sending him letters of demand. And it's, of course, he's hustling over here. You know, we go on to point out, and this is where you'd find it if you find yourself ever in this position or you want to just hold on to this law because you are living abroad and you've checked out the countries and everything's fine, you just can have it in your back pocket. The rules are specifically found under 20 CFR, that's the Code of Federal Regulations, Section 404.460B2I. And this is the exception to, I think it's 460A. The overarching rule is that, yeah, if you're not a citizen of the USA and you're getting Social Security benefits and you're living abroad, you got to come back twice a year. Okay, that's, I suppose, cool. Helps prove there's still a person alive. It's, maybe it's to prevent the fraud that we see so much of. Okay, that's good. However, when you're dealing with a friendly nation of citizenship, a friendly nation of residency, one of which we have no bar for our treasury sending money to, that would be Switzerland, and similar with Iceland, and they both have totalization agreements with SSA. So this is a little separate, the totalization agreements, where if someone works part here and part there, and neither one gives them enough for Social Security, they can combine them and one of the countries will give it to them, that kind of thing. So it's like a friendly way to accommodate people that want to retire in different countries, whether they want to come to the USA or they want to go to a different country or go back to their country, but they earn stuff here. It's so that they can combine them so they have the 40 credits potentially. Now, in this case, he has to have earned the 40 here, but that would be it, 460, which specifically says if the person has worked at least 10 years in the USA or has earned not less than the 40 quarters of coverage, that is an exception to no, you must come back every 6 months of Section A of 404.460. So that is what that's what this goes into. It's like a little tiny mini brief on it and connecting his facts to it, saying, he worked here and earned his Social Security, did his 40 credits, he's here for more than 10 years. Sorry, I don't know if it's allergies. I feel like it's allergies because my eyes are so itchy. There's a little reference to the POMs, which also refer to the exceptions, including the 10-year residency and the 40 quarters. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but in my introduction of myself, it said, by the way, I also went onto your online application or whatever you call it, little widget thing, where you can plug in the citizenship and the country of residency. And it indeed told me as well that there would be no requirement to hustle on back to the USA every 6 months. So putting it into a 795, I typed it out separately and then I cut and pasted it because I have a 795 form that I made form fillable, but it's like big blocks. I kind of wanted to, once you're typing into the big block formats on PDFs, at least on Adobe, sometimes it gets a little sticky with the typing when it's got so much work, so much verbiage in there. So I like to type it separately and then cut and paste it back in and just make sure it's formatted good and all that. If I need to shrink the font, I shrink the font. All right. And then the position is that based on the foregoing, he should not have to return every 6 months, blah, 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 blah. And then I just signed it. I gave them my rep ID number, which isn't really necessary, but I kind of wanted to drive home that this is the kind of law I do. So I'm not just, family law, divorce attorney, just saying it should be. Not that that shouldn't work because you're citing the law that they're supposed to follow. But I wanted to give them a little bit more. And then just dated it, signed it, and has my address in there. Like, did I put 3 M's? No. Anyway, so any of you, jet setters that like to travel around, go different places, and you're not even going to live in your own citizen country, and you're not living in the USA, but you want to go to another country and collect your Social Security. So many countries that's possible. So many. Some that aren't, but you can almost be suspicious of who you can't do that with. But it's just a shame that there's been at least 2 required trips so far. Fair. 30 days in hotel. I can't even imagine the money. I mean, if you're going on vacation and you have all that kind of money, awesome. But then you're forced to come to the United States to use it. And do I love that we got some tourism? I do, but I just don't think people should be forced, right? Not if they meet all the rules. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that one for probably the small minority of you to whom this would apply. But just worth thinking in case you want to move out of the country. I heard there's some celebrities that live outside of the country. So if you're fans of theirs, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, have a great night. Bye-bye.